Good morning. Today's reading is going to be what impression did they have of you, whether it was a first meeting or the last time you met or the first impression. You will know which one feels like you want to find some information about it. So let's have a look. Pile number 1 is the Emperor. Pile number 2 is the Page of Pentacles. Pile number 3 is the Seven of Swords. So if you want to take your choice, and we'll have a look.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, I'm just going to start. There's a feeling here that they picked up you were confident in communicating in some way. I'm saying that and I bet you're thinking, oh, I just shuffled around the outside and mumbled to myself. The Magician card here and the Ace of Water, the Mars card here is direct. The Magician card has a lot to do with, is Mercury, so it has got a lot to do with communication and language, the way that we express ourselves and our thoughts. And as I said with the Mars, that it can often be, it can be quite abrupt in some way, but basically you said what you wanted to say, or you gave the impression that you knew what you were talking about, probably. The Ace of Water here has got a very soft feeling about it, which doesn't really go with your speech. So this to me makes me think they picked up that you had I'm going to say a strong ability to feel, or that you like emotional connections and that you like people, or you're friendly, that type of feeling is what I would say here. So I guess that you possibly here, it's difficult, this power, because lots of it contradicts itself. You've got here a feeling of somebody that's open with the Ace of Water, somebody that falls in love easily, somebody that's got that dreamy look in their eyes. But you also, with the Magician card and the Mars card here, it's that feeling of somebody that can cut people down to a quick. It makes me think it's like a Uranus-Mars feeling when I'm looking at those two together, probably because electricity going down here. Somebody who's fast with their words and somebody that can often say things without thinking, can often insult and think, oh my God, it just came out my mouth. You've got cards here which suggest some form of trauma in here. You've got the Nine of Swords here, and not that I find trauma funny, but the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles here is, to me, inside my chest when I'm looking at this, it may be a sense of nervousness. I feel that you were outside of the situation, almost trying to, the Justice card here, get in. I don't know what that means. Whether it was like, this is what it feels like in an image in my head. It's like a group in a pub and you're slightly on the corner and you're wondering whether to say something, but you're perhaps chatting to somebody else where it's firing off, is what I would say. So to interpret that to a different scenario would be they can't quite get to you, they can't quite talk to you, they can possibly hear you, they can possibly see that there's a lot of energy inside you, that you're bright, that you're articulate, but to me there's a feeling of being shut out here, and I don't know, it's like there's a sense here that you both want to get to know each other more or communicate more, but something in between, don't know as yet. The Knight of Pentacles here is far more steady than the rest of it. This is emotional, and this is like pinging off, and this is like, oh my gosh, am I going to make a fool of myself? Can I get my next, can I talk to this person? This is a bit like you gave them the impression that you couldn't get to speak to them possibly in the outside world, but your inner world is like, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Is that Vicky Pollard? Oh, no, it's not, isn't it? It's Catherine Tate. I'm not bothered. That you're quite smooth and calm, and that you weren't really trying that hard to contact with them or look at them, or, yeah. Bit of cool cat, really. There's a feeling here of you being slightly, I'm trying to think of this type of person. You don't care what other people think of you. For some situation here, it's like your own person. You don't, to me, there's like a feeling you don't need other people's approval, the approval of perhaps the rest of the people around you. You're not looking at them. There's something quite sparky about you, but quite open. It's a weird feeling. The World card and the Death card, real severe ending cards at the end of this pile here. But you've got really lovely the Sun and the King of Cups cards. So you've made an impression where I feel that this person wants to find out more about you. With the Ace of Wands next to these sort of like, I'm nude, here's my heart feeling here. It's that they realise that there's something quite special about with the way that you can actually open up, but you didn't in that moment, if that makes sense. I don't know whether it's the way that you've moved your body, whether the way it's you've used your arms or articulated something, or whether they've seen you hugging somebody else or moving towards somebody, showing how you connect emotionally, that they've wanted more of. And maybe, I know it's their impression of you, but this is like you can't get together. Maybe they've wanted to move towards you and you've seemed not that interested in them. Yeah. That's what it must be, because there's a sense of like you don't really care here. The Justice card is like, oh, either way, let's take it as it comes, and if I get to talk to them more, that's fine. Or it's like you're not bothered. And the World card here is that you moved out of the situation, and the King of Cups and the Sun here is that this person wanted to connect with you emotionally in some way, felt that you were very similar to them. With the way that you were able to express yourself. I feel like there was a lot of watching going on in this. Their impression of you is somebody who's straightforward, maybe a little bit harsh with their words, somebody who knows how to love, knows how to express their emotions. It's not somebody who feels as if they have to contain them or control them. I don't know whether it's the way that you've moved or the way that you've chatted to somebody else, or just the flow about you. It feels like an ease, but it also feels like you're not looking for the approval of, I'm going to say the tribe here, the group of people around you. You've got an individual air about you, and that you're not interested in them, is what I would say here, but they're interested in you with the King of Cups and the Sun card. It's like you've changed the way that it's like curiosity, it's wanting to know more, but it has a lot to do with not the way that how fast you are with your words, or how sharp you are, or how intellectual you are, or what you say. It's more there's something about them emotionally that they connect with inside you. It's like the things that you didn't say, or the look that you gave, or there's something soft about you, something very much, maybe you helped a granny across the road. It's that type of thing. It's like they've picked up something that's soft about you that they want, that's intrigued them, is what I would say. Funny feeling in this. I feel you're quieter than them. I feel that they are more group orientated. I feel that you don't really care about that. They've picked that up, maybe added to the intrigue, but there's something very emotional between the pair of you that just clicks into place. And I feel that you may be quite quiet with it, even though you're quite fast with your mouth. Yeah, that sounds rude, isn't it? I just feel that you are with these cards here. Bright, articulate, sparky. I'm stopped because that's my brother's dog. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helps with regards to what impression you made on them. There's intrigue, there's curiosity, there's wanting to know more about your feelings, the way that you express yourself emotionally, the way you connect with people. What's going on inside your heart, I think, is what I would say here. There's a feeling of wanting to get closer to you because they couldn't. They feel that you're not bothered either way. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much, pile number 1. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. Strange feelings in this pile here. I don't really know how to interpret it, but my first words would be discontent with what they've got. You've made them feel, I know this isn't the answer to the question because it's the impression. It's like, well, let me answer that question. You've given them the impression that there's more to be had in life, and they've got themselves into a cocoon where it feels safe. And it's like you've come into their life and it's like, didn't expect it, wasn't looking for it. Here it is. I want more. I want to know more about that person. You've got the Ten of Earth over here and the Gemini card. There's a lot of earth in here. There's a lot of what I guess is like a steady feeling. You've got the Two of Pentacles. Actually, no, there's not as much. It's the Page of Pentacles up here. To me, it feels steady. The Temperance card is balance. The Ten of Cups here is, somebody who's, this is quite, because of the cards underneath it, that may change. But the Ten of Cups, to me, would be somebody who's satisfied with their emotional lot. Whether they're established in a way in a relationship or whether they're quite content with who they are. So I got a funny feeling here that you're quite at ease with who you are, and to me it looks like somebody looked at your finger and you've got a ring on it, that type of feeling, or the fact that you're quite established in where you sit in life at the moment here. The Hangman here at the beginning, I feel that, oh my gosh, it feels like you've not... This to me feels like two people that haven't got this going as much as they wanted to. You've got the Hangman here, which is slightly retracted. You've got the Temperance card here, which is so like smooth and balanced. And yes, I am earthy, but I do have emotions. So I'm thinking, okay, so what does that mean? The Ten of Earth here as well. You can come to me, it's like got the hard sort of saleswoman here who's immovable in some way. So there's a stubbornness here, there's a security that they've picked up, there's a feeling here that they want to... The Chariot card underneath here, it's like these are choices here. The Chariot card, which way do I go? Which way do I pull? And here you've got choices. And then you've got everything falling to pieces over here with like a new start, the Spirit of Wands. So to me, I feel that you've offered them an alternative to the way that they saw their life going. I know this is a weird pile here. So the impression they've got of you is you're different. You're not going to change, so I will have to change to move towards you. It feels like you've got a confidence about you, a smoothness about you. You don't move for other people. You've worked on yourself. The Hangman is like sitting still and, well, it's hanging still, isn't it? And just basically understanding life from taking a lot in and just wrapping it around in your head. You've got skills here to do with like one life to the next. So this is almost like an old soul feeling here with the Six of Swords. You've healed your wounds. You've been through situations. To me, it feels like you are, you've just come across as having it all together. It's like confident, immovable. I had my lessons, learnt from them, and I'm not easily shaken by them, I would guess. And that has taken them, I think. This to me, I wonder whether this person, this is going to sound really wrong, and I always regret saying these things because then I have to go in and edit them. But I always like to say what I'm thinking, even if it has to come out later, if it just crosses the line. But here goes. I wonder whether your person has fallen for, how do I put this? More surface level people. What does that mean? It's like people who are very much into the drama on the top of life, where I feel that you have been immersed in that enough with the Hangman there and the Judgment card to be able to see the big picture and to understand the big picture, enough with the Six of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles here to be able to work your way out, to work out who you are. So to me, there's a calmness, there's a maturity, there's maybe a feeling of inadequacy in them with regards to moving towards you. Security. This is where I feel that it falls to pieces, because you've got the Ten of Cups here and the Tower card. I feel that they feel that they're shut out and it's a big moment in their life. This is like when they see you, what they notice about you is that you're more than they would expect. They've almost like lost hope for finding somebody who's got depth, is the word I'm looking for. When I'm talking about the surface, you're the opposite. So what impression did you make? You made a huge impression. You made this person want to be better. You made them want something else, to be more, to change their direction with regards to what they normally find attractive, and that you didn't chase them, is what I would say. You didn't move for them, and that to them was fascinating. To me, I feel you knew what you were doing here, the Gemini here. It's like you can be tough, but the Gemini here, there may be a bit of nerves going on underneath, but it's like you can still play with the situation. These, to me, the Gemini and the Sagittarius, they're more mutable. This pile feels like you made an impression, didn't move from it. So this is like, I feel you knew inside yourself what impression you were making. Very tailored is what I would say here. You made a big impression with these cards here. To me, if I don't know whether this will feel right, I feel that you came across in a package that was very much what they liked. I don't know whether that is to do with where you are in life, what your job is, what you look like, what shoes you wear, where you live. I don't know what it is, but it's like a package that suited them, but there was something soulful inside you that they'd not experienced before, and that's where they felt this is where where they sort of like fall. It's in like, oh my gosh, the package and more. I've not seen those two together ever. And the Spirit of Wands is like, what can I do next? How can I pull these feelings together, these two different parts of myself together? And you were just cool and collected, and I don't think they knew that you were playing with them a little bit with the Gemini card here, but I feel that your mind was whirring and you knew exactly the impression that you were making. Yeah, big impact in this one. It's a strange feeling. I feel this person may be, not say older, but older in the fact that they have experience with quite a few different people who look like their ideal person, but not where they feel it inside themselves. They don't get those two coming together. That emotional pull, that sort of thump in your chest when you identify that person feels special, or, oh my God, or one particular thing you might have said, I don't know. It's a soulful link that is, is quite rare. It does feel a bit like, I know you. Right, that's what I've got, pile number 2. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye. Okay, don't know about this part. I know what I'm thinking here. Let me just get another card out, see if it changes. Bear with me. Yes. This has got the words that in my mind I'm putting these out, it's like chaotic traveller feel about it, which let me explain. There's a feeling here of either when you met each other, you were either all over the place with the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Cups, trying to get something sorted out, maybe a problem sorted out, maybe asking questions about that, maybe lots of people around. So there's a feeling of chaos in here. There's a feeling of the Chariot card and the 8 of Wands on this side is maybe you were travelling, maybe you came into their life and left, or maybe it's just that sort of personality. It's not personality, is it? It's basically who we change into when we travel. When you're travelling, you're like going from one country to one country, and you've got your parents aren't behind you spanking your bum. You just don't care as much about things, do you? You don't care about the impression you make on people. You don't care about the job because it's going to last a couple of weeks. It's that sort of freedom. It's like youthful, isn't it? Youthful feel about it. You don't take things as seriously. And the 7 of Air here again has an air of naughtiness. To me, there's like chaotic naughtiness in this pile is what I would say here. The Psyche card is the ability to read what the other person wants. So I feel that there's been something happening here. The chaos may be in the moment, the chaos may be in the situation that you met. You could have almost like met passing in a hotel lobby, or you could have met in a train station or in an airport, or while you were just basically landing together, some sort of travel feeling here. Just ships that pass in the night, lots of people around, maybe difficult to communicate here. There's an air of innocence about you. There's an air of being open, being able to talk with the 3 of Cups and the Knight of Wands and the Page of Cups. But it's almost like whatever you were doing wasn't heard. Maybe you left early as well with the 7 of Air. Maybe you got up and moved. I'm going to say got up the next morning, but it doesn't have to be that. It's like, where did they go? And you've got the 7 of Swords twice here. So let me go over the 7 of Swords here to see where this fits in. You've got the 7 of Swords twice. You've got the Psyche card with it. The Psyche card is almost like a soulmate type of feeling. It's when, I guess, it's that recognition inside your soul of somebody that feels like you, feels like somebody's out of your pod. And the Seven of Swords is, to go with that, I can't quite put them together as yet, is a feeling of taking alternative action, doing something that feels a little bit naughty or a little bit unexpected in some way. And this to me is like movement and ending and then wanting to get something started. So to me, this is a very much ships that pass in the night. Maybe even an argument went on between the pair of you, the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords, and the scrappy bang each other over the head with sticks here. Because that's like anxiety or being trapped in with your thoughts. And the Nine of Swords up here would be mind pollution. I think in these cards, the actual card says mind pollution. Okay. This is what I've got here. What impression did they have of you? There's a feeling that you came across initially as very forthright, very confident, very chatty, very friendly. Maybe you were with a group of people and that's how you introduced. There is a feeling of youth about you. There's a feeling of kindness and sweetness and listening to what they're saying and taking it all in with that very sort of lovely innocent look on your face. Then it turns into what I feel is a bit of trauma in the centre here, where maybe there's an argument, there's a misunderstanding, maybe you couldn't talk to each other. So their impression would have been a little bit more chaotic. And I don't know whether that has something to do with how you met, whether it was in passing, whether there was like, I'm sorry, I can't speak, I've got to keep moving. And then you left and then you were gone and they felt a connection that felt like you were somebody that they knew, is what I would say. The Spirit of Wands is wanting to almost like a match again. It's like restart it again and see, replay it again and see what would happen if I took this out of the centre. Let me put some more cards on these. Because these are quite for an impression of you. And you always want your readings to have some positivity to them because, we don't really know, do we? We do these tarot cards and it's for you to take the bits out that feel right. And we never really know. So you don't want to always give, you don't want to give a negative. You want to give straight in the middle. So straight in the middle is what I've got here. In the centre of this, there is a feeling of conflicted thoughts, anxiety, and some form of being disgruntled, maybe some form of repression. So I don't know what that means. One-upmanship. Okay, one thinks, okay, there's a feeling here that the psychic card here, one's picking up more than the other, that they're more attractive than the other, if that makes sense. Okay, I've got it. You come across at the beginning, middle, end. Their impression of you is, oh, look at this confident person, sweet, open, innocent, forthright, moving towards me, about to offer me something, whether it's communication, a cup of tea, conversation. It's that you're open, you are just ready, you are sociable, easy to talk to. Then I think the attraction hits in and I feel that you both stumble. Is what I would say here with these cards here. The one-upmanship, the Two of Cups going over what I tried to explain as an anxiety type, fighty pile in the centre. I feel it starts off really well and I feel that their impression changes because you both almost like stiffen up in the centre of this. As it moves on, I feel that they're not really sure. Maybe it was a bit more arsey, the conversation, than you both expected, or the get-together's a bit more spiky than you both wanted. And then I feel that you basically bolted with these movement cards here and an ending card and the Seven of Air. They didn't expect you to... this is what they thought they were getting. Lovely, jubbly, kind, open, beautiful, cha-cha-cha type conversation. This is what they got. Oh my Lord, this feels like anxiety. What am I going to say? This is quite awkward. Do they fancy me as much as I fancy them? So their impression is, well, that was a bit spiky. not what I expected, but often is the case when you're attracted to somebody. Then you've got the Chariot card, you've given them the Traveller, you flipped the Traveller bird, is what I would say. It's like, okay, I'm off. I'm not going to stay around for this situation. And they felt that was too quick. You moved out too quick and you didn't have time to sort of settle into speaking to them some more. Too quick, too fast, too furious, too arsey in the centre, not what they expected. But they knew there was something, but you both knew there was something between the pair of the Two of Cups and the Psyche card here. So to summarise in a few words, what impression did you give? Open, innocent, and then they got more than they bargained for. It changed into what I guess was some circumstance made it a little bit harder for you to connect, and then you split is what I would say. Quick moving, didn't care what happened, got out of the situation, and they felt that they were left holding the can, if that makes sense. Don't know if that feels right. Weird pile, lovely, and then gone. And then something abrupt, different change, but a Psyche, a understanding with the Two of Cups there, that there was a connection between the pair of you. So I would definitely say this pile is a recognition, like a vibration that sucks out the world. It's like recognition of attraction in the middle of this. And I feel that you both felt exactly the same, and they knew that you felt it. So their impression was that you knew too. Then you left, which I felt that they felt was rude, probably, or unjust with the Seven of Air, or uncalled for, or too quick. Naughty, something like that. Okay, pile number 3. I'm going to leave you with that weirdness there, but lovely. Like, yikes, gone is what I've got. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye.